And now Rachel has asked the author of one of her favorite books to join us. This book became a New York Times bestseller and has over 250,000 copies in print, including translations into Hebrew and Korean. And before I bring Laura Duksta up, I want to mention that she was so touched by what Rachel is trying to do that she shortened her own family vacation in Baltimore to be here and flew in just this morning to read her book to you. So ladies and gentlemen, New York Times best-selling author Laura Duksta.
And so I wanted to also just share a little bit of my book with you. The book was an answer to a prayer, and so part of the reason why I share this in this space today is that I really believe in the power of love. And my sister she had one child who was about 4, and she was pregnant with her second, and she was fighting quite a bit with her husband, and he had moved out. And I was away at the time, and she called me, and usually as her big sister, I would drop everything and run over. But I couldn't do that, so I found myself praying. Not a bad place to turn first, actually, maybe before we start all the doing. And as I began praying for my sister, something clearly answered me and said, "Your sister's fine, pray for your nephew." And I acknowledged, this is kind of strange, I don't really pray like this anymore, and something just answered me. And it said, "Your sister's fine, pray for your nephew." As I began praying for my nephew, the whole idea for this book came to me. And I was a bartender in South Beach at the time, so I wasn't an aspiring author. And I believed that what I wanted him to know was that no matter what was going on in his world or the world around him, how truly loved he is. I'd like to share a little bit of this with you. I know that it's not super easy to see, but a lot of it's the message anyways. So it's a flip-sided book, so like Love It Never Ends. It starts from both sides and reads to the middle. And it's called I Love You More. Walking outdoors one day, a little boy turned to his mother and asked, "Mommy, just how much do you love me?" Surprised at the question, but with no delay, she replied with a smile, "I love you higher than the highest bird ever flew. I love you taller than the tallest tree ever grew. I love you longer than the longest path ever wound. I love you prettier than the prettiest flower ever found. I love you deeper than the deepest fish ever swam. I love you stronger than the strongest big river dam. I love you mightier than the mightiest wind ever blew. I love you fuller than the fullest moon you ever knew. I love you brighter than the brightest star ever shone. I love you more, so much more than you've ever known." Then she wrapped her arms around him with all the love that she had, and he felt it all surround him when he gently whispered, "Know what, Mommy? I love you more. I love you more than anything in the whole wide world." And now, this is where you close the book and flip it over, and it actually begins from the other side. And on this side, it's the child asks the mother. No, the mother asks the child, "Well, just how much do you love me?" And he responds in more childlike things.